Sup nerds, in today's video I am covering the differences between Make and N8n, pitting them head to head to see which is actually best for solving valuable business problems. But before we jump into it, if you're interested in mastering N8n or getting me to build a custom automation for your business, feel free to hit the link in the description and set up a free one-on-one call with me to discover the possibilities. So let's get dangerous. Now I'm going to be scoring N8n and Make out of 10 across 5 categories: build and mapping UX, integrations, AI agents, reliability, and cost. We're going to add up each of these scores to get a total score out of 50 and see what we get. Specifically, I want to do it through the lens of these 2 AI social media influencers I built in Make and N8n. First up, we have build and mapping UX. And in this category, Make and N8n are actually quite similar. For example, if we double click on this node and pop that open, we can see the spreadsheet ID. We can just click and drag from this box into this field here. And you'll see N8n is quite similar as well. Now, since this isn't running, we can only really see this by going into the executions log. This is a bit harder to navigate to in Make, by the way, because they have the executions log in a completely different area. But for example, here, if we click on this AI agent down here, there we have it. We have the row number, day, hour, and video idea that this AI agent has received to turn into a script, title ideas, and so on. Now, something else that you can't do in Make is you can also view this data as a table or in its raw JSON form. That really helps, especially when you're doing this in the output side. The 3 views are all also available on the output. That really helps in getting a fine-tooth comb and making sure that the data is structured exactly how you want. The schema view for input is also helpful because you can drag and drop stuff just like in Make here. The main difference, and one that I actually quite like, is look at this. If we hit this pop-out icon, you can see not only how the expression is actually written to refer to these variables that it received, but you can also see how it mapped. That really helps because in some cases you need to manually include bits like .stringify in your expressions that don't map normally but are required to get it all to map correctly. Make doesn't have those problems, thankfully, but it does also mean that you can't perform those operations to transform the data. Instead, you need to have something like a make code module or something of that nature. So overall, for build and mapping UX, Make gets an 8.5 out of 10 and N8n gets a 7.5 out of 10. They both have much of the same functionality, but Make is much easier to plug and play and just get it running. Next up, we have integrations. This is possibly one of the biggest differences between Make and N8n. If we see this Google Sheets node, for example, we just have a connection. So all I have to do is add a connection and then sign in on my Google account. And then boom, I'm already authenticated and ready to start playing in Google Sheets. Meanwhile, in N8n, things are a little bit trickier. So if we go ahead and double click on this Google Sheets node here, you can see it looks the same: credential to connect with, AI influencer. We have our drop-down list of previously made credentials. But if we want to make a new one, first of all, we have different options: an OAuth 2 or a service account. And both of those actually require us to go into Google Cloud Project and set up OAuth 2 client credentials, which can significantly raise the bar of entry for beginners. So I'd have to say overall for integrations, Make gets a 9 out of 10 and N8n gets a 7 out of 10. Make had more native modules N8n could do it through HTTP, but Google Auth was fussier, so Make is a lot simpler. Now we're on to AI agents, and this is where things get really interesting. As you can see in Make, we have this ChatGPT module here where we can choose different methods of interacting with ChatGPT. We can choose which model, and we can also send messages either as the user, assistant, developer, or system, or a tool. So it's pretty easy to just go ahead and plug in something quick and get it running in minutes. Meanwhile, in N8n, you have much more options. Let's pop open this scriptwriter, for example, and you can see we have a spot to put in our system instructions, all of its core identity instructions, what it should do, what it shouldn't do, all of that is going to be in here. And we also have options for what model we're going to use to power this AI agent. In fact, you can see in this node menu here, we have all sorts of different things we can use as our chat model that powers our AI agent. Gemini, Grok, DeepSeek, you can pretty much have anything powering an AI agent. And I usually use OpenRouter, if I'm honest, because that gives you a lot of these same options through the same API key. So that makes handling billing on the back end a lot easier. And as far as memory, you get a lot more options than you would with an AI agent in Make. In Make, an AI agent would simply be able to remember past messages in the conversation, provided you stick with the same chat ID with every new message. Here you get simple memory, which remembers past messages that have been sent to this agent. And you also get all these different options for databases and memory that you never get with a Make AI agent. You also get tools, which allows it to call another N8n workflow. So you can set up an entire N8n workflow as a tool for one AI agent to call at will, which invokes a whole new level of functionality to your AI agents. It can run custom code. It can call in a custom HTTP endpoint. And that's just the beginning of what you can do with AI agent tools in N8n. A bit of an aside as well. I know it's not exactly AI agents, but both N8n and Make have their own AI assistants. Built in Make, your AI assistant can see and edit your scenario directly, but I don't recommend asking it to make edits because it will make mistakes quite often. I would say more than half the time. Meanwhile, N8n's AI assistant can't directly see or edit your workflow, which significantly limits its ability to solve problems that are specific to your workflow, but it is trained to go first to the official documentation or to the N8n community in search of answers. That makes it very good for if you're running into a common error or you just need some instructions and some basic help authenticating a certain node, that kind of thing. And also worthy of note is that both of them only accept input in text. Personally, I've seen much more value come from AI assistants that are much more time efficient as to how fast you can give them a high concept overview of how your scenario works. So that way they can give you more detailed answers. Something third party like ChatGPT is going to be perfect for. So overall for AI agents, Make gets 7.5 out of 10 and N8n gets 9 out of 10. Both have agents, but N8n gives you richer knobs, like instructions, knowledge base, memory, and tools. Its assistant surfaces docs and community better, even if it can't edit your flows directly. Now onto reliability. N8n really takes the cake in terms of reliability, and to show you what I mean by that, let's take a look at this HTTP request node. If we go over to the settings here, you'll see retry on fail. Now, these are the default settings, which means it's off. and it stops the workflow whenever it gets an error. You do not want to have an automation that is in production with these settings, because that means a single error could mess up your entire workflow. So what you want to do is flip that guy on, max tries. The highest it'll go is 5. So that's usually what I do. And then how long it should wait between tries, I usually leave it on 1,000. That's fine, 1,000 milliseconds. And when it gets an error message, you do not want it to stop workflow. You want it to either continue and also have an extra error message output. In this case, we'll just hit continue, close it up, and hit save. Every node in N8n has this. And trust me, retry logic is going to save you a lot of headaches in production. Make doesn't really have anything comparable. You can have logic, for example, that checks incoming data for an error message, and if it sees it, it loops back and tries it again. But things like that are tricky to set up and prone to failure, so I can't recommend it all that much. Overall, in the reliability category, Make gets a 7.5 out of 10, and N8n gets an 8.5 out of 10. The built-in retry logic in N8n nodes is a real advantage, and Make doesn't have any comparable built-ins. Although N8n self-host means you own updates and security. On to category 5, cost. Now, in terms of cost, Make starts small, but its pricing adds up. And this is for the simple reason that it's all based on executions. Now, in Make, if you ran a single module, it will count as one execution, which means if you had a big enough scenario, a single Make execution could put 30 points on your quota. Make does offer a free plan, but it caps out at 1,000 executions, which you can hit pretty easily if you're serious about building large scenarios that solve real-world business problems. N8n's options offer an interesting trade-off. Their pricing plans don't actually depend on the number of nodes that gets executed in a single run. It actually depends on other features entirely, such as viewing the version history, and also whether your plan is cloud or self-hosted. N8n's free plan, for example, is only available on the self-hosted version. I know self-hosted sounds great, and it is. I know some very successful people who are using it, but personally, I like to discourage beginners from using it just because then you have to manage all the security, all the updates, and everything like that by yourself, and that can get quite overwhelming for a beginner. So overall, in terms of cost, Make gets a 6.5 out of 10, and N8n gets a 9 out of 10. Make's 1,000 executions per day cap and per op pricing add up. N8n's self-hosting is far cheaper at volume, with the trade-off of managing everything. So overall, which one is better for your business? Well, it depends. N8n gets 41 points out of 50, which barely tops Make at 39 points out of 50. Both have their strengths and weaknesses, which I encourage you to consider seriously if you're getting into the AI automation game. Make is faster to wire up with lots of ready-made connectors, but N8n is a very strong alternative, especially if you want agent power, robust retries, and predictable low cost at scale. But that's about all I have for you today. If you are interested in mastering N8n or in having me build you a custom automation for your business, feel free to hit the link in the description. We'll set up a one-on-one free call with me to discover the possibilities. And with that, be sure to leave a like, share your thoughts with the class, and before you subscribe, make sure you know what you're doing, because it ain't easy being at the top. I'll see you guys next time.